the Just As We Are podcast. I'm Katrina, a wife, mom in recovery, certified life and transformation strategist, community cultivator, lover of people, and student of life. Each week, I'll bring you love, inspiration, share the harder things people are afraid to talk about, and guests who are willing to shine their light for you. I give you self-care practices and mindset tips to help you shatter the negative stories you tell yourself. Now is the time to step into the beautiful, loved, whole woman you already are. Let's walk this journey together. Welcome back to the Just As We Are podcast. I am your host, Katrina, and I'm incredibly excited to be back with you on the show. It's been a minute. I'd skipped a week a couple weeks ago during the height of the Black Lives Matter movement. And then I shared an episode with my friend Amanda Lacey the week after that. And here we are. I'm back with you guys, and I'm incredibly grateful to be here. And I want you all to know, if you have been tuning into the show, thank you so much for your love and support. I see you. And my message could not get out there without you guys. And if you're new to the show, thank you so much and welcome. I really hope that you find what you're looking for in these episodes, that some of my guests resonate with you, or what I have to share with you resonates with you. And I'm just so incredibly excited that I get to do this, and that God has put this on my heart, and it's part of my calling in order to serve. It just lights me up when I hear somebody who, especially when it's somebody I do not expect to hear feedback from them when it comes to this show, and they talk about it and they're like, oh my gosh, I absolutely loved your episode where you shared or where you had on. And I'm like, whoa, you listen? Oh my gosh, that's so awesome. I love it. And it just brings me such joy. And I'm glad it brings you guys so much love and joy. And hopefully it's bringing you support in your lives, especially during this time where we've been in this state of isolation, or what can feel like isolation. And I'm hoping that, you imagine me being right there with you, having a conversation with you, and that you are not alone in all of this when we can absolutely feel so alone. And I want to talk to you guys today about really recognizing the wins in your life and the beautiful things that are going on in your life. And how can you do that? Because it is very easy for us to just get into a mode of going, and we're focused on the tasks that we have at hand. We're focused on just getting through the days. We're focused on just grinding through this work day, or, oh my gosh, we're at home with the kids and the days have been blurring together. Like, can we stop for a minute? I want you guys to know that it's June. It's the middle of June. In case you didn't realize that, we're in the middle of June, you guys. What the heck happened to May? Like, really, where did May go? Because there was April, there was March, there was April, and April seemed to last forever, right? And then we had May. It was here, I promise you. It feels like, to me, and I was talking to somebody about this the other day, like, where did May go? We're in June. And in our state, I guess it is kind of a typical June, but it's been cool. Thank God the sun's going to be coming out this weekend. This weekend is Father's Day. I'm incredibly excited to celebrate my husband and the fathers in our lives. Oh, where did May go? Anyhow, but learning to recognize the wins in your life and the celebrations and the success. I teach my clients often to celebrate all of the successes in their life, all of the little things, because we have been taught and we've learned, like, just to grind through, just work really hard. And this time during the pandemic and all of the stuff that's going on, we've been forced to slow down. but are we truly recognizing all of the beauty that's around us and all of the things that we are doing well? If you're anything like your husband and I, your husband and I, my husband and I, if you're anything like us, we have been, to our detriment, one of those task families instead of being with. And that's been really the place of growth for me during this time. But we're in the task, we're in the go, go, go mode. And then we sometimes stop and slow down and look around and we think, well, what have we been doing? What have we gotten done? And when you're not stopping and slowing down and recognizing the things that you are accomplishing, that's when life gets old and dreary and you get so exhausted and worn out and you can feel like you're a failure and you're not even accomplishing anything unless you're seeing big, huge wins happen in your life where fireworks are going off and there's just magic pouring out everywhere. It's the wins, the big wins truly are in those small moments, are in those small little things. And so if you're not taking the time to stop and recognize those things, you will get burnt out. And I see it happening so much in our society. I see people who are just on that go, go, go mode and not recognizing hey, you know what? It actually is a really big deal and it's amazing and it's beautiful that I woke up this morning, that my eyes opened this morning. It is a really big deal that I woke up this morning. And for me, it's a big deal that I woke up sober this morning, celebrating those wins. And so I teach my clients to get in the habit because we often, as moms, will put ourselves last. We're the last person to be recognized in our own selves. We don't recognize ourselves as much as we need to. And I don't like using the word need, but it is a need. We deserve to be recognized more, and the best way to recognize and truly fill that ourselves up is to recognize ourselves. Is it great to have somebody else recognize and fill our cup up? Oh, of course. It's one of the most amazing feelings in the world when somebody else gives us the kudos or recognizes something. But when we can do it for ourselves, that's where the lasting gratification comes from. That's where the lasting love and happiness comes from, is when we give it to ourselves. And so a couple of weeks ago, actually it was a little longer than that, my husband, Josh, he was like, okay, we need to sit down and we need to write down all of the things that we've accomplished in this last month. And so we did. We started to make a list. What are all the wins we've had? I signed on 3 clients and, he still has a job, and we had done some work in the front yard. We'd put the garden together. We, all of the simple things, putting a garden together, taking the kids out on a weekend drive to Cleolum to go get donuts and stuff. What are all the things that we have done? And we made that list, and I was like, holy cow, we did all of that in a month? That's amazing. Had we not sat down and written out that list, I would have totally forgot about all of those things and not even recognized those things as wins. And so we celebrated one another. We gave each other a high five. We're yes, telling ourselves, telling our subconscious minds, this is good work. This is awesome. We have done some amazing stuff. Last week, he saw that, I've been in a weird mood, and we'll talk about that at a different time, but I've been in a weird place. And he did the same thing. He pulled out the whiteboard and he's like, okay, it's time to make another list of writing down all of the things that we've accomplished over the last month. And so we made another list. I'm like, well, I signed on 3 more clients. Actually, I had a couple more clients than that. I signed on 4 more clients this month, and we got the patio poured. We got the front yard put back together in the way in which we want it to be. We rearranged this. We started listing all of the things that we have done, and it was like, wow, how amazing is this? Look at all the progress that we've made. Because honestly, while looking around, if you were to look around in my backyard, noticing the patio is a really big deal because it looks amazing and it's beautiful and I'm so excited about it. But because of the other work we had to do to prepare for it, some of the other backyard looks like a freaking disaster. However, that's where my mind would go to, is like, yeah, I would totally like disregard that we poured this beautiful patio and just go right to the icky stuff that I see. But no, we did all of that. We poured this patio. He redid his garage area. Like, these are the things we did. And we had this big long list of all these different items of things that we had accomplished. And it felt so amazingly good to recognize that and notice that. And so I want to ask you, where in your life are you feeling like defeated? Are you feeling burnt out, or feeling like I don't even know what is going on anymore? I don't feel like I'm getting anything done. Or maybe you're in the personal growth space like I am, and you're working on growing through things. Where in your life have you seen change in yourself? Stop and take the time to recognize, pull out a pen and paper and be like, and write this stuff down. Where in my life where in my life have I grown? How do I show up differently in my marriage? Like, mine and Josh's marriage has grown tremendously over the last 2 months. And we've connected in a way that was honestly kind of stale for a while. It wasn't, we were just kind of passing by in the night, I guess, so to speak. I kind of felt like really not connected with him in a way that I'd want to have been connected with my husband. I felt like, we're just two parents living in the same house, and we've started to take steps to reconnect in a different way. And that has honestly opened up a whole new door for me in connecting with myself and finding out more about myself. But that door that I'm talking about, that I'm not quite going to mention, because it's still an area where I'm like, I don't know if I want to talk about this or not. Yeah, ladies, you know what I'm talking about. And, it's like, wow, there's so much for me to learn here. And 3 months ago, there's no way I would have even been willing to look at this kind of stuff or talk about this kind of stuff or to explore this, because of stuff I'd had gone on in my past that, was affecting me here in my future. And so it's like, there's growth there. Where in your life are you growing? So sitting down and taking an inventory of, think back 6 months ago, think back a year ago. What was going on in your life then? How are you showing up differently, and what are you doing differently now? Putting pen to paper, writing those things down, making a list, whether it's stuff growing yourself personally, in your relationships, spiritually, or if it's stuff around the house. Like, I can totally relate to that. We have a lot of projects that we want to do around the house that we have not chosen to do yet. But we've also gotten a lot done during this COVID time, quarantine at home time. And had we not written it down, I would have still looked around at the house and been like, what's changed? Nothing feels like it's changed. And there's a lot that we've done. There's a lot that we've accomplished, and getting in the habit of celebrating yourself is such a big deal. Celebrating yourself, loving on yourself, taking care of yourself. When you come to a space of that's the norm for you, you will no longer need that outside validation to the extent of what you believe you do now. We don't actually need that validation, but there's something in our minds. There's something that's happened. There's a belief that we hold that our value lies in something outside of ourselves, and it doesn't. It all comes from within. So when you get in the practice and habit of recognizing all of that you're accomplishing and celebrating that, you reaffirm yourself. You learn to affirm and love yourself, and that your strength comes within. And I teach my clients to do that. I tell them, hey, if you go and you do the dishes and they get all done, I want you to celebrate that. I want you to scream out loud. I want you to be loud and proud about it, because that is how we retrain our subconscious. That's how we learn from our subconscious. When the laundry gets done, and if you get it even all folded and separated, or heck, if you even just get it to the dryer, through the dryer, because I don't know about you ladies, sometimes I got to wash it more than once. Or sometimes I turn the dryer back on when they're already dry. Little things like that. Or speaking up for yourself and recognizing like, hey, oh my gosh, I was afraid to tell so-and-so that I didn't like or appreciated what they shared or said about me, or maybe they were saying about somebody else. But I chose to speak up, or maybe I chose to walk away and take myself out of that conversation. That's not something I would have done before. Yes, Katrina, go Katrina. Celebrate all of the wins. When I enroll clients to work with me and coach with me on one-on-one, I celebrate that. Because when we celebrate, we're also telling the universe, like, I want this. I'm ready for this. And I appreciate this. Thank you so much for this gift. Thank you so much. Meaning, we want more affirmations in our life. We want to love ourselves more. And it's going to bring in more goodness to your life. It's going to open you up to recognizing more of the gifts that we have in the world. And it is such a fun little exercise, especially if you're willing to do it. I know some of you are saying like, why in the world would I celebrate doing the dishes? I hate doing the dishes. That's exactly why you celebrate it. It's not necessarily mean the world's going to give you more dishes, but nobody said you had to do the dishes. Nobody has ever, that's a lie you told yourself that you don't have to that you had to do the dishes. Like, the dishes can sit there and they can grow and grow and grow and somebody else can do it. But you doing the dishes and celebrating yourself, you're giving yourself that affirmation, that pat on the back that maybe you never got as a kid, or maybe you've just been missing in your life. That is your affirmation. That's your reprogramming and telling your subconscious like, hey, I'm a rock star. I'm amazing. I do the things and I show up. It's the little things. It's in all of the little things and recognizing all of the little things. So celebrate yourself. Celebrate your life. Celebrate whenever you want to. Recognize your accomplishments. If we're not recognizing those accomplishments, then we're just going to continue to be in this grind mode, this mode of I've got to get ish done, rather than stopping to, what's that saying? Stopping to smell the roses, stopping to recognize all that we have in life. And it brings you to that place of gratitude. Like, thank you. This is a gift. This is so amazing. And I am so proud of myself. It helps you understand and begin to validate yourself in a way that you think you need from somebody else or something else. And that's just not the case. That's not the truth. So I hope that this brought some value to you guys. I hope that you go out and you celebrate yourself today. Give yourself a pat on the back, that you stop and take inventory of what have you accomplished during this time. On those days where you feel like, man, I don't think I got anything done. Those are the days where you sit down and it's like, what did I do today? Well, I got up out of bed, I exercised, and I made sure the kids got breakfast. Bam! Celebrate that. Seriously. Because there are kids around the world who aren't getting breakfast. Their moms aren't getting up out of bed and there are women out that are not getting up and exercising. And you're showing up. And so celebrate that. Celebrate the little things. And here's what I want you to do. When you celebrate, I want you to take a picture of yourself and send it to me. Send it to me on Instagram at Katrina Lelly. You can email it to me. KatrinaLelly@gmail.com, but send it to me or tag me on social media with it. I want to see you celebrating your wins, and I want to see you loving on yourself and taking care of yourself in this way, in such a crucial manner. I love you guys. Hey, before I go, I want to let you know that I have created a group Facebook page for all of you mamas who are looking to grow, learn, and want a community of like-minded women that you can come in and be who you are and know that you're loved and accepted. Maybe you'll find your best friend in this community. Maybe you won't, but you will get live teachings from me. You'll get journal prompts. You're going to get all of the good stuff in this Facebook group that I am building on Facebook. You can find it Rooted in Love, ROOTED, Rooted in Love. and it's a sisterhood. And I am inviting you to come join me there. If you want the link to it, just shoot me a message and I will definitely get you the link to come join that. But I would love to see your faces in there. I'm super excited about what this group is going to be and the value that it's going to provide in the community that it's going to bring to all of you. So have an amazing day. And until next time, wait, don't stop listening yet. Just as we are, fam, I so appreciate my listeners. And you know what would be so incredibly awesome is if you just took a few moments, headed on over to iTunes and left me a 5-star review of the show. And if this episode resonated with you, share it with your communities, tag me at Katrina Lelly. My message, my mission doesn't get out there without your help. Until next time.